Get ready for the biggest news in the sport, because Dana White is dropping major details on how Conor McGregor will get paid after the massive shift to streaming platforms. We dive deep into the formula Dana White has developed to ensure the Irish superstar gets compensated. And you will not believe the internal system the UFC is using to calculate McGregor's future earnings in this new era.
Here's a simple way to protect your phone without stress. This Allen 3-pack comes with tempered glass screen protectors, camera lens protectors, and an installation frame for an easier, cleaner fit. It's clear, case-friendly, and built to help guard against scratches and everyday bumps. Check the link in the comments to get it on Amazon.
Next up, we are breaking down the massive financial structure behind the upcoming UFC Freedom 250 event at the White House. Dana White just revealed a staggering $1 million bonus system courtesy of Crypto.com, showing exactly how the fighters involved in the fight of the night will split that huge prize pool, and what that means for the biggest payouts in UFC history. But this massive bonus pool comes with a huge regulatory question nobody is talking about. We examine the complicated legal landscape surrounding the event being held on federal property, and how the Association of Boxing Commissions is stepping in to manage things, and whether a fighter can actually appeal a bonus under these new circumstances. Finally, we look at the controversy surrounding Josh Hokit's antics at the UFC Freedom 250 press conference and Dana White's reaction. We break down White's comments on the situation with Josh Hokit and why the UFC boss insisted that drama doesn't matter when it comes to the business, before we wrap up with Nate Diaz revealing his interest in a potential trilogy fight against Conor McGregor. UFC CEO Dana White has provided clarity on how Conor McGregor will be compensated under the UFC's new streaming model, addressing concerns about the shift away from the traditional pay-per-view structure. White expressed strong confidence in McGregor's return to the octagon this summer, stating, "I'm extremely confident it'll happen this summer," although the organization has not yet officially confirmed an opponent or event. The shift to Paramount Plus earlier this year, resulting in a reported 7-year, $7.7 billion agreement, has necessitated changes to fighter compensation. Speaking at the UFC 328 presser, White detailed the internal system designed to manage these earnings. He confirmed that the UFC utilizes a formula based on a fighter's historical pay-per-view success to calculate future compensation in the streaming era. White explained, "There's a formula to it, and McGregor is going to do just fine. It's based on taking the average of his pay-per-view buys, and what they do is find an equation for that." White emphasized that this new compensation system affects multiple fighters, not just McGregor. As speculation intensifies regarding the Irish superstar's long-awaited return, his last fight being a withdrawal from UFC 303 against Michael Chandler due to a toe injury, the focus is shifting toward his potential matchup against Max Holloway. Holloway is currently emerging as the frontrunner for a long-awaited rematch, and rumors suggest McGregor could headline UFC 329 against Holloway, fueled by McGregor's ongoing social media activity and training footage sharing. The UFC is ramping up promotion for its upcoming White House Card, and President Dana White unveiled a significant new bonus system for the event during a press conference held on May 8 at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. The announcement, courtesy of Crypto.com, details a substantial financial incentive for the fighters on the card. White announced that Crypto.com has committed $1 million for UFC White House fight bonuses. Specifically, the fighters participating in the fight of the night will share $600,000. This leaves $400,000 remaining from the total $1 million allocated by Crypto.com. To round out the total bonus pool, the two winners of the performance of the night bonuses will each receive $200,000, bringing the overall bonus payout to $1 million. The article noted that while the $200,000 performance of the night bonus is substantial, it is not the largest amount the UFC has awarded for that specific recognition. This compares to the $300,000 awarded to both Max Holloway and Jiří Procházka at UFC 300 in 2024. However, The $600,000 designated for the fight of the night represents the largest bonus in UFC history for that category. Regarding finish bonuses awarded to fighters who avoid going the distance, it was not confirmed if these bonuses would be increased or active for the White House event, though they have been distributed at previous UFC shows. The financial details for these specific bonuses remain to be seen. This information was reported by Wrestling Inc. Transcription available on channel YouTube. UFC Freedom 250 is gearing up for a high-profile event, but behind the excitement of a potential $1 million crypto bonus for fighters, a significant regulatory ambiguity has surfaced concerning dispute resolution. Crypto.com has committed to funding a $1 million bonus pool for competitors at the upcoming UFC Freedom 250, which Dana White has hailed as the largest bonus in UFC history. However, this funding arrangement has opened a complex question regarding appeal processes should a fighter earn the bonus under disputed circumstances. The potential legal tightrope stems from the event's location. UFC Freedom 250 is scheduled to take place on the White House South Lawn federal property. This location bypasses the jurisdiction of the District of Columbia Combat Sports Commission, leading to friction among regulators. Chairman Andrew Huff of the D.C. Commission had previously voiced frustration, stating that his office was neither consulted nor involved in the planning. To navigate this regulatory gap, the UFC engaged the Association of Boxing Commissions, or ABC, as a regulatory advisor. ABC President Timothy Shipman confirmed in a March press release that because the event is held on federal property, there is no mandate for the UFC to select a state athletic commission for oversight. This highlights a key structural issue. The ABC is a voluntary trade organization and lacks the authority to discipline fighters or suspend licenses. The unified rules of mixed martial arts were established specifically to ensure enforcement by independent regulators, not promoters. State athletic commissions across the country are responsible for enforcing these rules, a framework the ABC officially adopted in 2009. On the fight card front, the event has seen some positive adjustments. A seventh bout was added following Josh Hokit's victory over Curtis Blades at UFC 327, pitting Hokit against Derek Lewis in a heavyweight contest with considerable ranking implications. Despite these additions, the absence of top-tier stars like Jon Jones and Conor McGregor, coupled with fewer championship bouts than anticipated, has led to some disappointment among fans expecting a historically stacked card. UFC boss Dana White has weighed in on the recent controversial press conference behavior of rising heavyweight contender Josh Hokit. Hokit has garnered significant attention since his electric victory over Curtis Blades, leading White to immediately book him for a fight against Derek Lewis at the upcoming UFC Freedom 250 event next month. Hokit's reputation is marked by unpredictability. During a press conference for a White House event, Hokit reportedly became volatile, engaging with several individuals, including Alex Pereira, an incident that nearly escalated into a physical confrontation with Ilia Topuria. Following the UFC 328 event, Dana White addressed the situation regarding Hokit's actions. White stated, "I don't want any of these guys getting hurt over stupid S that means nothing with guys that are never going to fight each other." He further clarified the situation involving Topuria and Hokit, asserting, "It's not like Ilia Topuria and Hokit are going to end up fighting." White acknowledged the spectacle but focused on the performance aspect, commenting, "I think that whole thing Hokit does is goofy anyway, but the guy went out and performed. An unranked guy went in and beat the number 5 guy in the world." White also noted the general demeanor of other fighters, saying, "Ilia and Alex are pretty chill guys normally. Ilia flips out every now and then. We didn't see that coming. They're all sitting next to each other in the same row." White concluded by refocusing on the professional aspects of the sport, stating, "Because all I was worried about was the weigh-ins and not anything happening there between Khamzat Chimaev and Strickland. But we'll be ready for it. This is the business we're in."